And the Fermi paradox is another one, and I know people will have answers to this, but I'm going to say off the bat I don't think that they're tenable. So Enrico Fermi was a physicist working at Los Alamos under Project Manhattan, right? So America developing the atomic bomb. So he said, look, start off with the very, very old universe. Imagine after 1 million years. So again, Homo sapiens, according to evolution, 200,000 years. So 1 million years. Could you imagine if we existed for 1 million years? People say the amount of technology we could develop in that time. So he says that once 1 million years has passed, that civilization on a planet somewhere sends out a colonizing expedition. Okay? And then after another 1 million years, the original planet and the colonized planet send out another expedition. So you're doubling the number of colonies every 1 million years. Now, let me look at some figures because there's some math here I calculated. Okay? So after 10 million years, which is a speck in the 14 billion year old timeline for the universe, there'd be 1,023 alien colonies. After 20 million years, there'd be 1 million. And at that rate, doubling them every 1 million years, there would be 1 trillion civilizations in 40 million years. So we would literally be tripping over each other.
Be quite crowded, the universe. Is that the idea?
So the Fermi paradox really asks the question, where is everybody? Because, 1 million years, as I say, is a long time for any species or race to develop. And they would develop incredible technologies in that time. Yeah. So again, and people have reasons why, we don't observe people, and we can talk about some of those as well.
Yeah. So the idea is that since the supposed Big Bang, 14 odd billion years, that's a long time for these civilized alien races to communicate, to spread out. And if we're really late in development compared to them, then we should be seeing them everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There is something, I can mention it now, called the dark forest
sounds spooky.
syndrome or hypothesis. There's actually a science fiction idea. A Chinese science fiction writer, his name was Lu, and I hope I pronounced his name right, Cixin. And he said that basically the universe is like a dark forest. So advanced civilizations say, well, we better not send out signals or broadcast that we're here because we don't know if other alien civilizations have friendly intentions towards us. So we're frightened about what everyone else might do if they find out we're here. But again, I don't think that's a feasible answer because, we've been, every radio transmission we've ever broadcast on this earth is out floating in the ether somewhere long before we ever considered the idea there might be extraterrestrials out there and maybe we should, keep quiet about our existence. So wouldn't everybody else be doing the same at their various stages of evolution? If that was the case, the universe would be just teeming with broadcasts from civilizations once they even develop basic radio technology. So that's a science fiction idea that, has been postulated to kind of explain away the Fermi paradox as well. And there are other ideas. But the simplest thing is I think it's very valid that in an old universe, if life evolved, as I said, in 40 million years, which is also a speck in the timeline of the Big Bang, 1 trillion civilizations, hypothetically.
It's a lot.
So where is everybody?
Well, thanks, Gary, for bringing so much clarity to this issue about the Bible, aliens, extraterrestrial life, however intelligent people suppose it could be. Now, you've got an award-winning documentary about this whole issue called Alien Intrusion. Can you talk a bit more about that documentary?
Yeah, we've had a copy on the table here, Michael. Made this some years ago. It basically covers the subject of my book, Alien Intrusion, UFOs and the Evolution Connection. But we've got some great first-hand testimonies from people who claim they've had alleged encounters or what are commonly known as alien abductions. And the ministry, Creation Ministries International, is actually making this free to stream for a limited time after this podcast. By following the description below, they can stream a copy of that. I'd like to mention a little anecdote. You mentioned award winning. We've won a few, and I suppose people listening think, we send it off to these small Christian, film, screenings and this type of stuff, and we win hokey awards. When we came out, we sent it to the world's largest film festival. It's called the Remy Awards, R-E-M-Y, I think it's spelled. And we just did it, and we actually thought, you know what, it's the Hollywood type, we'll just send it to them, and a lot of people will get to see a Christian documentary about the saving grace of Jesus Christ, etc. And I'll never forget, back in the US office one day, a lady in the reception opened the mail, she came, she said, "Gary, have a look at this." And we won what's called a bronze award in the Remy Awards. This is a secular film festival, and they gave us a bronze award. So I quickly looked up and said, well, what does a bronze award mean? It meant that you were ranked in the top 10% of all films submitted that year.
That's pretty good.
So next search was, how many films were submitted that year? 5,500.
Wow.
So our little hokey Christian documentary got a bronze award at the world's largest secular film festival. So there you go. So I mentioned that, again, not to boast, but if you've got unsaved friends who are confused over the subject, that's an ideal resource for them.
Fantastic. Well, like you said, we'll have that in the link description, video description link below. People can click on that, and it's free for a while, which is fantastic. Well, thanks so much for joining me today, Gary.
Thank you.